And you know what time it is? It's time for KP's Video News. KP's Video News, y'all. KP's Video News, y'all. KP's Video News, y'all. That's right, it's time for KP's Video News, y'all. And we're doing the Breonna Taylor update and some articles that I found in the news here. There's been a lot of things going on. You know, I'm trying to get my James Harden beard to come through. This is 6 days worth of growth. It's coming. Anyway, back on topic here. We got 5 police officers involved in the raid which killed Breonna Taylor. Were part of another botched raid 2 years earlier, and the reports state that 5 police officers who were part of the search on Breonna Taylor's apartment were all part of a 2018 raid in West Louisville at the home of Mario Daughtry, his girlfriend Alicia Burr, and their teenage daughters. 4 of the officers involved had conducted the search on Taylor's home, during which she was shot and killed, while the 5th had requested the search warrant. The Daughtry family filed a lawsuit against the city regarding the raid, in which they say the warrant was issued before they even moved into the house. 5 Louisville Metro police officers involved in Breonna Taylor case were part of a botched raid that left the family traumatized in 2018. The incident occurred a year and a half before Taylor was killed in her Louisville, Kentucky apartment by police officers in March during a no-knock search. And it was reported that 4 police officers who were part of the search of Taylor's apartment, as well as a 5th who requested the search warrant, were all part of the 2018 raid in West Louisville at the home of Mario Daughtry. And according to they obtained a search warrant on the Daughtry home after receiving a complaint that marijuana was being grown in their residence. And video from the incident shows a SWAT team knocking and then using a battering ram to open the door while announcing themselves as police. Daughtry's 14-year-old daughter thought the family was being robbed, so she ran from the home and was arrested by police officers. Police found a small amount of marijuana at the home, but no one was charged with the crime. The Daughtry family sued Louisville in 2019, saying police obtained a warrant on the home before they moved in. The city moved to dismiss the case, though a lawsuit is ongoing. We just wanted to get our story out there because we didn't want this to happen to anybody innocent, or anybody's innocent life to get lost, the Daughtry said. And it wasn't until recently Daughtry realized that police officers involved in Taylor's death, Brett Hankerson, Miles Cosgrove, Mike Campbell, Mike Nobles, and Joshua James, had also been involved in the raid on his home. And during the raid, Taylor's boyfriend thought they were being burglarized and fired his gun, which he was legal owner of, and police fired and killed Taylor in her sleep. And so, you know, that's a crazy situation you got to deal with. And so you got the Louisville police. This is a similar situation. Got Louisville police said protesters who have been marching against Breonna Taylor's death for more than 70 days can no longer use public roads. Wow. And so the Louisville Police Department said that protesters would no longer be allowed to march on public streets and must stick to the sidewalks. A police spokesperson said the restrictions were in response to increasingly aggressive behavior by the protesters, and the protests have taken place in Kentucky City every night for more than 70 days in response to the police killing of Breonna Taylor in her home. And a handful of people were taken into custody for disorderly conduct and obstructing the roadway after new restrictions went into place. The protesters said the police are trying to intimidate them into stopping the demonstrations, but said they would not stop until the officers involved in Taylor's death are charged. And you know, so it's like the police spokesperson Jesse Holliday said this was because of an increase in aggressive behavior over the past week, including the arrest of 12 protesters on Saturday who flipped tables and chairs while marching through the 4th Street Live Entertainment District. And some activists told a newspaper that the new rules were meant as an intimidation factor against the movement. They added they would continue to protest until the 3 officers were charged. And the ACLU of Kentucky stated that it has serious concerns about the police's sudden decision to restrict protest activity, and would be keeping tabs on the Louisville PD actions. Over the past months, we have seen a pattern of overblown and inappropriate actions to a community that is rightfully upset with its government's delay in holding the police accountable. And the protesters have held nightly demonstrations as usual, and after the rules were announced. And they met at the Muhammad Ali Center and made their way to Jefferson Square Park. This weekend's protest in Louisville also attended by the father of Michael Brown, the 18-year-old black man who was shot to death by police in Ferguson. And the police used a bullhorn to warn protesters to keep off the streets, and a handful of people were arrested and issued with citations for disorderly conduct and obstructing the roadway. And yeah, so they're trying that little intimidation factor over there, and it's not working. It's not going to work, because people are not going to stop until you arrest those cops. I mean, that's obvious. And so the Oprah magazine will post 26 billboards. Well, already posted 26 billboards around the city of Louisville. And the magazine released a billboard campaign seeking justice for Breonna Taylor, the 26-year-old emergency medical technician who was killed in a Louisville, Kentucky apartment by police officers in March. And the 3 officers who were involved in Taylor's death, Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, and Miles Cosgrove, have yet to be charged and arrested. And Hankinson was terminated from the Louisville Police Department in June for displayed extreme indifference to the value of human life. Mattingly and Cosgrove are on administrative reassignment. And the death of Taylor and George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery strike sparked protests nationwide in the fight for Black lives against police brutality. And as we all know, as of this day, as we're dealing with this right now, we have the Jacob Blake situation in Kenosha, Wisconsin, that just started everything all back. If the protests were dying down, they just started all over again. And from another report that I read a little while ago, they stated that some right-wing Trump supporters shot and killed a Black Lives Matter protester last night in Portland, Oregon, and we yet to see if any arrests are going to be done in that situation. So that's another ongoing situation right there. And so here's what we got to do. So the Oprah magazine announced that Taylor was featured on the cover of the September issue of Oprah magazine, and so we have to use whatever megaphone we have to cry for justice. And the cover also includes a quote from Winfrey: "If you turn a blind eye to racism, you become an accomplice to it." The magazine team revealed that there are 26 billboards, one for every year of Taylor's life, depicting the September issue cover around Louisville in an effort to bring attention to her story. And the billboard reads, "Demand that police involved in killing Breonna Taylor be arrested and charged." And the billboard advises people to go on Intuitive Freedom's website, social justice organization that is working on getting justice for the Taylor's case. And together, we will make sure no one forgets Breonna Taylor's name and recommit the fight for justice and her family. So we got to do what we got to do to make sure that, you got, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and Ahmaud Arbery, Jacob Blake, Mr. Perriman down in was that Shreveport? I think it was Shreveport or Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Another black man that got killed, shot in the back by cops last week, exactly right around the same time that Jacob Blake got shot. But this guy down in Louisiana, he didn't make it. See, what's his name here? What was his name? Trying to find it. No, I got it here somewhere. But anyway, his name was Trayford. I believe it's Trayford Perriman. Anyway, he got shot and killed, shot in the back and killed by police down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, last Friday. So for some reason, this whole thing with Blake kind of overshadowed that. Was these two things happened at the same time? Okay, so on with the, I'm gonna kind of switch reels a little bit here, and they have a firm that rebrands black business owners one website at a time, and Joy Rayhat Branding has helped numerous black entrepreneurs and other minority-owned companies and organizations impacted by the pandemic to create and enhance their online brands to help clients meet their marketing needs. Her team is able to build and launch a custom-built, professional, mobile-friendly website in as little as 7 days, and it's done 100% remotely. And in addition to designing clean and modern websites, the firm creates matching sets of branded social media cover designs, digital signatures, bios, and collection of marketing designs for clients located in the Washington, D.C. area, and they offer stunning branding portraits and headshots to complement your marketing initiatives. This is an ideal solution for startups and freelancers who have just started their own business. The firm provides core branding consultations about identifying and featuring marketable services, selecting business names, buying matching domain names using business email addresses, installing online shopping features for instant transactions, and creating conversation optimized landing pages. And that's pretty cool. So it's Joy Rayhat Branding Company. If you want to get in contact with her, that's JoyRayhatBranding.com, JoyRayhatBranding.com. And she's over there helping people get their web pages on point. And the web page is on point there. So here's what it is, folks. Let's do this thing. Let's do it.
Right. KPVIDEONEWS, y'all.
Peace.